Hey there, friends. I am back with another episode of Garth Marenghi's Darkplace. Sorry it's been a minute. For those who didn't see my community post, it's been a bit of a rough time for me, so I have not been good to be on camera lately, but I could probably use a couple laughs anyway. Full disclosure, I am on no sleep. I haven't slept yet. It's like 9 in the morning, so that's where we're starting from. That's our baseline today. So, just a heads up. I'm a little wacky, that might be why. Or maybe I'll be fine. Maybe I'll be very normal. Who can say? I want to, again, continue to say thank you so much for the incredibly kind comments people leave on my Darkplace videos. To the point where they're so kind to the point where they've made me a little nervous. Because people are like, oh, you know, the amount of people I've had say, like, I'm their favorite reactions to these, which I haven't watched other people's reactions. I have to assume they're not very good because I'm just babbling, but that's so kind. It also makes me go like, oh god, now I'm scared to do more because they'll like disappoint. We can only go downhill from here, folks. So that's a little scary, but yeah, just super kind, really cool to hear, and it definitely has encouraged me that when this is done, I am going to be moving on to other UK comedy shows that I've been meaning to watch for years, and now I've finally, you know, been encouraged to watch them. I don't know yet if next is going to be the Dean Lerner show, or I know one person did ask me to react to the audio commentaries for Darkplace, which you can let me know if you'd like me to do that. Regardless, I'm going to watch them. I'll just watch them in my private life. If people want me to react to that, I totally can. Otherwise, probably going to do Dean Lerner and then move on from there. People have given me great lists of a bunch of shows to watch, and if y'all are here for it, I'll totally react to them. I'm also, outside of UK shows, going to start reacting to possibly Buffy, if I can get around copyright stuff, we'll see. But anyway, here I go. So we're going for episode 4, Apes of Wrath, already super in. And what's the, okay. Black Fang. Let's go.
The moonlight shone down on the place unhindered. The gnarled parapets jagged upwards like a bony hand of icy indifference. In the background, there was a pigeon. Who knew how long the place had stood there? 40 years? 50 years? Tempus immemoria, i.e. always? But it was a bad place. That much.
Yeah, I'm stopping already. 25 seconds in. What? Yeah, no, I love that because that is very... It's Tempus Memoriam, Memoria, saying something of like, you can tell how much he tries to have like this very impressive vocabulary when he writes, because of course he is a literary genius, as we all know, but the fact that he also has to define it, which isn't, I think in his mind, is not him explaining. It might be him explaining it to like clueless readers, but I think it's also him proving that he knows what it means. I think there's a little bit of that as well. It's like, I know what the big words I say are because I am a genius.
Was certain. A very bad place indeed. Greetings, traveller. Who am I? Perhaps you have met me twixt sleep and wake, in the penumbra of uncertainty you call unconsciousness. Or perhaps you've met me at a book signing. I'm Garth Marenghi, horror author.
If only. Oh, if only.
My business is chill. Pure and simple. You know, my books are all essentially about what-ifs. In Black Fang, I asked, what if a rat could drive a bus? And what if it and its rat brethren took over and ate Parliament? When I wrote, directed and starred in tonight's episode of Garth...
The sad reality is, I wouldn't read Garth Marenghi's books if they existed, because I don't know how to read. I don't read books. I haven't done that in years. But if they were turned into films, I would watch and own every single one of them. As I sit here wearing a John Waters t-shirt, I love quality cinema, and I would be deeply in love with all the things he's described. Like, so much. I would 1000% watch that movie, and it would be one of my favorite films. You gotta appreciate the creativity.
Marenghi's Darkplace, I was asking another what if. Now, I won't tell you which what if it is, but it's basically along the same lines but with a different animal. Without giving too much away, think Planet of the Apes. This Eve's Tale or Blood is an allegory. And as such, I've included interviews with myself, my publisher, Dean Lerner, and the actor, Todd Rivers, so that we can tell you what it means. Here it be. A future shock that'll shit you up. I'd like to dedicate tonight's episode to my wife, Pam, who deals with the bulk of my admin.
I think he wants to be one of those writers that leaves things, that has allegories and is like, you decide what it means. He wants to be one of those writers that can do that, but at the end of the day, he can't help himself. He needs everyone to know how smart he is by explaining exactly what he means.
I'm Garth Marenghi, author, dreamweaver, visionary, plus actor. You are about to enter the world of my imagination. You are entering my dark place.
About the theme song, it is pretty perfect. The kind of it sounds very 80s, like a 1 hour drama kind of thing. And the fact that it's like, it's very actiony, and then the minute, of course, the woman comes on screen, it gets all soft, is really perfect. For Dean, because he's just, he's a soft man. Don't tell him that, but he is.
Sanch, are you copping Z's? Come on, I need you on the ward. There are kids dying out here.
Hey, bud, just give me 2 ticks.
His emotional support bear? Is he going to treat a child with the bear?
Now it feels like somebody parked a car in it.
We're getting very, very Troll 2 in here all of a sudden. Those who have not seen Troll 2, please watch it. And then watch the documentary Best Worst Movie. But everything in that town is green. The town of Nilbog, which is troll spelled backwards, as we all know.
That's peculiar.
Sanch! Sanch? What?
Oh no, I need that well, we're gonna get it in a second. Although he had to have a bear, the only reason he had the bear was so that he could dramatically drop something. I know we're gonna get more shots of it, but I need the first bit of that.
Sanch? What?
Yes. The coloring, it's perfection. Just not even attempting to blend. I love that makeup.
I think it's only with hindsight that I realise how radical Darkplace was and is. We knew at the time it was raw, but we didn't realise it could get rawer with time. It's balls to the wall, flat out horror.
They would not make this show today. They would not make it. You know, it was way the hell out there. You know, we were young, we were physically fit, and we were challenging logic.
I also love that they never attempt to make the actors look younger or older. I think Dean might actually look younger now than he does in the show. Is very funny to me. Oh, and we're back in the beautiful car. The beautiful, beautiful golf cart car.
My name is Dr. Rick Douglas, MD. A new terror in Darkplace. Sanchez, my friend, my buddy, is now an ape. Although still a competent surgeon, he does now smell like an ape. But was he the only one? Well, the word on the ward was no. He was.
Little, do not breathe him in. That's actually, and it's kind of sweet of him. He didn't wanna let him know how bad he smelled. Oh, there you go. He's a good guy.
This place was dark. Damn dark. Hence Darkplace. We parked the wheels and hauled ass to Reed's office, but on the way, I made a special detour. Hey there, little guy. Good news. You're gonna be alright.
Thanks to you.
Now here are the...
Is this the... No, that kid was blonde. I was like, is this the same kid from the first one? At least in this one, the kid is 6. I remember in the first episode when he came into that kid, he was just telling him his dad was gonna be okay, which I'm like, is this where you just keep the children of patience? So of course we have to have a moment to just show how good of a guy this character really is, to really connect with children and bring him something.
Those prescription drugs you couldn't afford.
Drugs.
I bought them out of my own pocket. Don't thank me. I've got to go and save another life. Take care, little guy.
Dr. Douglas,
Yes, buddy?
I owe you everything. If you need any help, you could always rely on me.
That means a lot.
Let's look at this. I have to always double check something before I call it out.
Yes, buddy?
I owe you everything. If you need any help, you could always rely on me.
That means a
That
lot.
little moment where he just for a second the kid looks into the camera and then quickly looks back. Kid actors are so fun to watch in movies. I always think of that kid in what is it? Back to the Future Part 3. You can just look it up. I think he literally just type in kid Back to the Future 3, but like he's for no reason at all. As there's like a scene going on. I think he's playing one of, I've only seen that movie once. I think he's playing one of Doc Brown's kids. But he's looking into the camera and going at the camera and then points at his crotch. I think maybe he's saying he has to go to the bathroom. It's the weirdest thing. It's just in the movie. So I love when you catch kid actors just being kid actors and not knowing what's going on is a beautiful thing. My hero.
I punched one of the child actors who was working on set because they were rude about Garth writing. It was more of a back of the hand than a punch. But they came up in a big red bruise. Someone took a photo of it, blah, blah, blah. Cry, cry, cry. I don't see it as a problem.
Jim.
I feel like slowly over each episode we're starting to learn more and more about like Dean Lerner might be a monster. I feel like the more tidbits he drops, the more you're like, what? They're so out of pocket.
Could you run these ECG results past the boys in radiology?
Right away.
Dag, in here.
Don't even have time to drink this water. I'm that busy.
Could you ever love a monkey, Liz?
It's certainly an improvement on the old look.
Hey! Morning, Dad. Morning, Thornton Reed.
Good morning.
We're out of you two like a glass of water.
No thanks, I'll have a coffee.
Thanks, Sanj. I'd love a glass.
Oh, drat, it's run out. Here, have mine.
No, Sanj, you have it. I'll grab a coffee instead of the water.
One coffee coming right up. Here you go.
Cheers.
Oh, that was such an awkward shot. It's perfect. And the one was clearly sped up just a little bit so they can get the right, like, they needed to make them all clean together. It's those little touches, man. I can't not break, like, I'm sorry. I probably spend way too much time pointing them out, but they need to be highlighted because they're magical. These dumb little moments of, you know, like, oh, I will have the coffee instead of the water. Like, let's explain everything bit by bit.
As I'm sure you people are aware, we've got a situation. People are regressing to a primal stage, and it's spreading. Fast. Douglas, we need a slice of your loaf. What's going on?
I figure the following. Sanchez...
I used to work at Disneyland for like 10 years, up until about a year ago, when I moved, and 1,000% he moves while acting like an animatronic. He looks like he's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, when his kind of body moves before his eyes move, it fully looks like an animatronic. Oh my god.
progressing to Homo neanderthalenus. Right now, Sant, you're Homo erectus, but who knows how long you've got.
I appreciate you being straight with me.
And you and
I just want a good shot of the
Now, Sant, you're Homo erectus, but who knows how long you've got.
I appreciate you.
It's just so beautiful. The hair is magic. Like, they tried to put a little bit of, like, sticking it to his face, but then just didn't even... I have a friend who does, like, makeup and costuming and stuff, so I've watched her, like, try to blend it. It's just so beautiful how it's a completely different skin tone. That's that extra point of being the most bad. And having the eyebrows way up higher, and that's the only thing you change. Just put on a goofy wig and have kind of odd teeth.
You being straight with me.
And you and I are Homo sapiens.
Correct.
But if we're all basically homos, shouldn't we get along?
You'd have thought. But Homo erectus is famed for his meanness. How you feeling in here, Sanch?
I'm bearing up, you know me, Dag.
Yeah. Yeah, I do, big guy.
Come on, you two queers. We need to lick this problem before it turns round and slaps us in the nuts. We need data. Liz, fill us boys in, if you'll pardon the expression. Liz?
Liz?
Liz!
It's got Liz, too.
Whatever it is.
Dr. Sanchez, if you don't come to surgery now, we'll have to start without you.
Wish me luck.
Good luck. I need to crack this, Dad, because if not, Wonton will be all over me like knockers in a wind tunnel.
I'll go and have a word with the Padre.
I like to think that actually, I can't recall the actress's name. I mean the actress in the show, like what her fictional actress name is. But I just like the idea that, like, she's just a better actress. She's like, oh, I'm a monkey now, okay. Boop. And just like this little monkey, physicality. Oh, look, her legs are all hairy. Magic.
I need to crack this, Dad, because if not, Wonton will be all over me like knockers in a wind tunnel.
I'll go and have a word with the Padre. He knows a lot about monkeys.
Right, I'll stay here.
Come on, Liz. I led Liz, by now a sick parody of womanhood, down the corridor. Perhaps the Padre could elucidate the cause of all this. Though at this stage in the narrative, it would be odd if he did. No!
This makeup was done years ago for the monkeys. I was worried when I saw the VHS again that it would look ridiculous and old-fashioned, you know, and quite naff. It's not true. It looks great, still.
I feel like he always is kind of a little bit aware of how bad it was, but then at the end of the day, I think for his own sanity and for his own ego, has to spin it where it's like, actually, it was okay. Because he keeps kind of crapping on it, and then at the end, always coming around a little bit, at least so far. In the last episode, I remember him doing that too. Sorry, commercial break. I can't afford YouTube Premium anymore. Anyway.
Would you like a drink of something?
Hey! It's obviously it's from Mighty Boosh, which I was not from Julian Barrett. Freaking love him. He was in Mighty Boosh, which I haven't seen much of, but he was in The Great, which I love him in The Great, and he was in this trip of a movie called In Fabric that I highly recommend. It's crazy. Oh, that's so freaking cool. And he's a priest. Also, I think I heard once that if anyone had watched the show Spaced, the old Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost show, which I adore, I think I heard once that, like, the character of Brian was originally written for him, which would have been interesting, but I love the guy that plays Brian. But yeah, heck yeah, that freaking rules. Yay!
Tea, coffee, juice.
I'd love a glass of water.
No! That's mine.
All right, don't sweat it, I'll suck them in. I'll come straight to the point. Where does the church stand on the matter of evolution?
Monkeys were created by God to entertain us. That's all we know, Rick.
But surely...
That's all we know, Rick!
Yeah. Sure, Padre. I think I understand. Come on, Liz.
Mind how you go, Rick. Mind how you go.
It worsens. The Padre, my friend and colleague.
I don't know how to describe this, but there's something about his performance there that it's probably one of the better ones on the show, but there's something about it that feels very, like, stage heavy. Kind of like the people that were in, like, early episodes of Doctor Who, like First Doctor episodes, where it all is put on like a play and everyone is kind of overdoing it a little bit in the way that you can tell they're all stage performers. That makes sense to me anyway.
Is now an ape. Who was next? Would it get me? I really hoped it wouldn't. And what was it, anyway? So many questions. Why Liz? Why the Padre? Why Sanchez? Why not Reed? Why not me? This hospital was turning into a jungle.
Cough in the middle of VA. Keep it in.
And everyone was acting like monkeys. Terry, run a J over the seat. I think Liz has left a souvenir.
Emergency in surgery. Emergency in surgery.
Not my fault, monkey bastard hands. It wasn't difficult for me to get into character. I mean, I know the beast in me. I've been drunk with him for 15 years. So, it was home from home, you might say.
Both Todd and I were wild at the time. I mean, we were behaving like flipping Romans. We were like animals. And I looked in the mirror one day, excuse me, and I said, "You're not a man, Dean. You're an ape."
I've stood in Dean's front room and watched him make a lot of love. Let's just say that. I'm afraid, Rick.
What?
I'm afraid of what I'm becoming. Yeah, that's me. And this is unmanageable. I used to have...
I'm wondering if they just, if it's the idea that Liz's actress is a better actress, or if they just wanted to give the female character less lines. If Garth just wanted to, like, you don't need to talk as much. With Garth, it's possible it's the second. It's probably the second.
The best head in the hospital. And I'm starting to get some pretty primal urges.
I didn't want to say, but when I went into surgery this morning, you were waving your bits out the window.
Oh my god. I don't know if okay, I might be overthinking this. I stopped so much, I'm sorry. But it looks like... it looks like they have a paper display out the window to show, like, the outside of the hospital, the exterior, and it looks like there's a wrinkle in the paper. I think it is. That's amazing. I've never seen that before. That's such a funny touch. Oh my god, the detail on the show.
No, I don't even know I'm doing it. I thought I was helping attach a drip. I went to the Padre to confess. Ended up washing my ass in the font.
Liz is throwing her own poo as a way of getting attention.
If I get too far gone, Rick, you know what to do.
Yeah. Well, you hang on in there, bud. You hang on in there for Rick. Having been knocked, I fell into a strange, fantastical dream, rich in imaginative...
Okay, so obviously, as we all know, monkeys can just pull those out of nowhere. I thought they were trying to show that he had something wrong with his teeth earlier, but no, it was to establish what his teeth look like so that we can now see that they're different. There you go. Let's see the dream ballet now. What's happening?
My bonds having been knocked, I fell into a strange, fantastic...
God, look how much you can see the fabric that he's laying on and wiggling on. Yes.
...dream, rich in imaginative imagery. I found myself alone in a primitive land where phantasms, spelt with a PH, not an F, abounded. I turned one way.
It may look just like the woods with slight lens flares and a little bit of sepia tone on there, but no, it is a fantastical world, as you can see.
Then the other. Then back. Then forward. Then I saw myself as a monkey. When I came to, my head felt like a plum without the pip. Apparently I'd been asleep for a month, which is ages. Reed told me everything. How the monkeys now rule Darkplace. How they'd taken over.
They've taken over.
Oh no. Oh Jesus. They've taken over. They've taken over.
I know.
I'm honestly surprised that they showed that many people on screen at once, because it shows they had that many little monkey prosthetics is pretty impressive. Shows they did spend a little bit of money on this show. Again, the show being the show within the show.
Why's Liz here?
The clan rejected her. She'd been mauled when I found her. The brutes.
What are we going to do, Reed?
Blow me if I know. God, my throat is parched. I'd best have a sip of water.
In Garth's mind, this is building a lot of tension. It isn't just incredibly silly that he puts little umbrellas in his water. He thinks this is like, oh yes, they'll be sitting there on the edge of their sheets going, no, no, don't.
Look, Dag. Maybe we shouldn't do anything.
What do you mean?
I mean, this hospital's running pretty well, despite all this.
What do you mean?
No one takes days off anymore, everyone's grooming each other, and the doctors are literally working for peanuts. Within a year, our financial problems will be history, old news. We'll be able to build that children.
This is actually some of the best acting Dean's done. It's not good, but it's better than his usual, and I'm very proud of him.
Wing. Think about it, Rick. The Darkplace Dagless Kiddie Wing. It's what we've always dreamed about.
Not this way, Reed. It's barbaric. I want that kiddie wing just as much as you do. But right now, most of those kids are chimps, and that's my priority.
You're a fool! You're a fool to walk away from this! You're a fool! 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 You're a flippin' fool! You're a fool!
Rather with you two like a glass of water.
I don't even have time to drink
They
this.
freaking... Yes, they did. They flipped what arm the water was in. Hilarious.
Right now, most of those kids are chimps, and that's my priority.
You're a fool! You're a fool to walk away from this! You're a fool! 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 You're a flippin' fool!
I think it also says something about Dean, that this is maybe the most convincing act we've seen him in, and it's when he's supposed to be, like, kind of creepy. Just saying. Maybe he can pull a little bit more from his inner self.
You're a fool!
Rather with you two like a glass of water.
I don't even have time to drink this water umber. I'll grab a coffee instead of the water.
Would you like a drink of something?
I don't even have time to drink this water umber. It's the water, the water, the water, the water, the water, the water. I still haven't had a glass of water. Wait a minute, it is the water. Don't drink that! Look, it's bright green!
Thank God I only took a tiny sip.
Someone or something has been tampering with our water supply. I'm going to the water storeroom. I have a hunch that whoever or whatever he or she or it is will be in there.
Right, I'll stay here and try and recuperate as fast as I can.
No, he's back to his normal setting now. It's only when he's being a little scary that he's any good. Also, apparently he's going to be fine now because he only drank a little sip, and apparently that's how the rules go.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, shot Duncan. Hang time.
The reason Reed survives is that I only take a tiny sip. There's that line, thank God I only took a tiny sip. And if you take a tiny sip of this, you're all right.
I know writers who use subtext and they're all cowards. Okay? What I was asking in that scene is, what if politicians continue to pay doctors peanuts? Could they literally turn into monkeys? And no one's asked that before.
He's asking the real questions, and we should respect him for it. The amount of pause between where, you know, when they again show within the show, we're filming those two extras, was like, okay, bang, and the person was like, oh, okay, lay on the ground.
dirt everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Coleridge, Samuel T. It was here that I found the fiendish fount of this fear. An apoloid, micturating, which means urinating, on my erstwhile, which means former, body.
Again, constantly having to prove that he knows what the words mean. He can use the big words, but he also has to make sure that you know that he knows what they mean. Also, I really respect the show, because I've seen a lot of things in movies. I watch a lot of crazy stuff. I pride myself in the amount of films I've seen from all different countries and eras, and I watch a lot of every kind of genre, including a lot of just like, oh, that sounds strange, I'm gonna watch it. And still, the show manages in every episode to show me something I've never seen before. And I think that's special and horrifying.
I had a hunch this guy was the head honcho.
Con la mano!
First, they made a point of having him count how many bullets were left in there, and then he said he had 5, and he's already shot 6 times. Okay.
On the back.
Why does it have motor sounds when it's a bicycle? Why? Why does it have motor sounds when it's a bicycle? Is it to make it more dynamic, or does he want us to believe that those are motorcycles and he couldn't get some, so he got bikes? I don't know the answer, and I wish I did, but I'm never gonna. Maybe I'll find out. Maybe they'll say it in the little interviews, but. Oh. Shaky cam here. I don't know why it's giving me vibes of like that crazy roller skate chase sequence in Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah, I referenced Muppets Take Manhattan, where it's like they cut to like clearly a dude dressed as Miss Piggy. But that I don't know why it's giving me those vibes. We got some good green screen.
I thought I'd lost you back there.
You know me, Dad. I'm too busy just staying alive. Pull over. Pull over. Shit. Monkey drivers.
Clearly no longer like the horrific stunt double with the giant amount of hair. Not even trying obviously standing as he's doing it.
Con la mano. Take this.
I'm sweating now. If you use
I gotta tell you, that is absolutely one of the chase sequences I've ever seen in my life.
antiperspirant, it clogs up your pores. If you clog up your pores, you're going to sweat elsewhere, on your tongue, under your ears, on the forehead, and if you block all those areas with antiperspirant, you're going to get a breath problem. And that's fact. That's scientific fact. And if you block up everything, well, then you're going to sweat inside and get cancer. That which died in my arms out there should never have walked on God's earth.
Agreed. So what was it, Dag?
A blasphemy. A demented monkey man, half-formed and hell-bent on dragging us back into the Stone Age. Demented monkey man, half-formed and hell-bent on dragging us back into the Stone Age.
It looks like something fell. I can't tell if something fell or if it was just a little bit on the camera. Again, there's times where I can't tell if it's on purpose or there's just something wrong with the recording.
Could you give us a detailed explanation as to why all this happened?
He was once a scientist who specialised in human evolution and had worked hard on it for many years. At some stage during his research, he discovered he was specialised in human evolution.
Could you give us a detailed explanation as to why all this happened?
He was once a scientist who specialised in human evolution and had worked hard on it for many years.
So that's just clearly, they decided to explain it after the fact because they had her speed up and then cut to something else so that they could do it all in ADR. But the way how fast they had her talk. I don't know if they're setting up that there's something hiding behind here or they fully just cut to a different thing so that he could have his explanation off camera.
At some stage during his research, he discovered he was able to access mankind's atavistic tendencies and harness them for his own malevolent schemes. He developed a serum extracted from the gonads of gibbons, which when passed through the balls of chimps at light speed in a special atomic container could turn...
Yeah, he just couldn't get the speech right on camera. Oh, bless. Oh, bless.
men into monkeys. He then set about contaminating our very own water supply. So I've had to develop an antidote, which is why everyone is now back to normal. Thankfully, he didn't succeed.
Well, I think we all saw the beast in us this last week.
True enough, but if you boys make another crack about my taking a shit in Dag's car, I'll give you the thick end of the wedge.
Okay, Liz, no need to go away.
Hey, I thought I told you.
She's going bananas. It is funny. It is funny.
We laughed to
For a second, I was really worried that we weren't going to have an on the roof scene, and I was going to be a little bit sad.
protect ourselves, to mask the awful horror. Although I thought what Reed said about Liz going bananas was genuinely witty. Each man must acknowledge his beast, whether through sport or violent films. But a man must not let his beast be his master. Otherwise, you know better than Bill Wyman.
I called Madeline Wool Menagerie Wool. I've always been good with words. She was like a zoo in a woman.
I don't think anyone will get an animal impersonator like her again.
It's so hard to watch this episode, knowing that she's now missing, presumed dead, with the presumption heavily on dead. I don't think they'll find anything. But then again, she was like a candle in the wind.
So Dean murdered her, right? Like, Dean fully murdered her. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Unreliable.
Yeah.
I was typing and I had this block and suddenly I heard a voice come here and it was Madeline. And she spoke to me. And she said, Garth, that sentence needs a verb. And she was right. And she said, that's inelegant. And then very quietly she went. And I lit a joss stick and prayed.
For the years you've never let me down, you've turned my life around. The sweetest days I've found with you.
test footage is her looking upset.
I've never been afraid. I love the life we made, and I'm so glad I stayed right here with you.
I reckon she's probably somewhere in the Eastern Bloc. That's my hunch.
Do you think she's still alive then?
No, I think she's probably just buried in the Eastern Bloc. If she got a burial.
Garth Marenghi's Darkplace is a Garth Marenghi production in association with Dean Lerner.
I feel like it's gone from like Dean's Dean's a good. I think I originally thought maybe like he was kind of being taken advantage of almost by Garth because like he's a producer and just clearly like worships Garth, but now I think he's a full-on monster, which is a turn I didn't think it was gonna take, but I'm not mad about it. So there we go. That was crazy. I'm looking at the episodes so I've got 2 left. I'm trying to think what my favorite episode has been so far. Once Upon a Beginning was so wonderful. Though I may have to say Skipper the Eye Child, mostly just for the song, to be fully honest. I think Skipper the Eye Child might be my favorite episode so far. So we still got Scotch Mist and the Creeping Moss from I don't know what, because the thing is fully... Oh, Creeping Moss from the shores of Shoggoth. So there we go. And then I'll be done. I'll be done with Darkplace. This has been lovely, and I needed this silliness, so I appreciate y'all for joining me. And thanks so much, and I'll see you next time, which will not be as long as it was this time, I promise. I don't know when this is going up, because I don't know how long it'll take for them to release it. Right now it's the 18th, so we'll see when it happens, but Alright, later guys.